flourish if it's hitting you in the sense of, no, this ain't me, you wrong, like that. Because even for that person that yell out, you wrong, all that, no, this can't, they trying to always create these opposite ends and these, other arguments. Even you have to sit back at night and have to sleep because now you thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's in your brain. You challenging yourself. You think you challenging another person, but really you challenging yourself. Like, no, you keep questioning yourself. I think that's powerful.
I never thought about it like that. Yeah, that's really interesting. I love that. Yeah, that was real dope. Because I just feel like, I really feel like you already hit the nail on the head, man.
Word.
I really feel like that, yeah.
But, I mean,
that's crazy.
Because, think about it, yo. If I tell you, and this is why I had to step out, like I talked to some people, prime example, so I'm going to use me. Like, because we're going through this phase now. Well, I'm going to take white people out of it. But specifically white men feel a type of way right now. But I'm going to take them out of that. I'm going to say men, period, right now, are feeling some type of way because of women and how they're rising, right? And when I say rising, I mean to the point where everybody now has a voice. Everybody has a voice. But women are taking that power. We're really seeing the power of women, which I love, right? We're seeing the positions that they're in. We're seeing them in the different roles that they're carrying. We're seeing, it's just beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about, you know what's crazy?
What?
If we think about hip hop, think about what's really been rocking the past 2 years. There's a song of the summer, which in 2016 was Ooh.
Yeah, true.
Young M.A. Then think about Cardi this year.
Yeah.
Think about Girls Trip. Think about some other things that popped off. But if you think about, like, women really been just rocking, right? Like, and I'm not saying this is something new, but I'm saying I think a lot of times we feel a type, like, for prime example, like even when Cam Newton said, I don't know if you heard what he said this past week. A lot of people were like, no, you got to look at it from this point and this. First off, a woman can ask whatever she wants to. She can be informed about whatever she wants to be informed about because she has the same knowledge base and skill base to learn whatever we learn, right? Yeah. So I feel like there is a sense of, like, even like when some women say don't say word female. At first I was like, what you mean? It's the same, but. For me to ask that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like sometimes same way black people say white person, don't say nigga. It's like, they say, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? But it's the same. If I've gone to this point in my life where if you tell me not to call you something, that's you. I'm not going to use that because I feel like you are obviously the person that owns that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to be titled that, then don't be titled that. I feel like we've reached this stage, and I lost my original point, but what was I? I was saying
talking about women.
Yeah, women. I just feel like we just in this stage of where I was looking at myself, and I was like, I see how white people feel sometimes in situations with black situations because I can see myself saying, okay, like that situation where somebody was saying, don't say the word female. I'm like, what you mean? It's the same. I say the same thing. I don't look at it like in a derogatory sense. Yeah. Same thing I say about men, males, you got men. But they were kind of breaking it down to me from this. Okay, all right, boom, I got it. Yeah. And I can see sometimes how white people may feel like, what do you mean you want to voice your opinion like this now? Because if you've always been trained a certain way, it's so easy to be like, what do you mean? Like, this is how you're supposed to do this. This is how you're supposed to do that. And so that's how they move, the way they move. But that now, I feel like when you brought new information and you don't change, you're being willfully ignorant.
It's crazy you said that because I've been thinking about that lately. How do you handle new information when you're exposed to it?
I think you have to analyze it. Right. I think so on several different levels. Like for me, I think new information for me would be, so I guess it goes back to, it's kind of funny. I don't know. New information for me isn't, because I don't really come from a hate sense or a subliminal hate sense. And I say subliminal hate sense because, so we're going to talk about white and black issues, quotation marks, because it needs to be talked about, right? Yeah. So we're not going to just talk about from the obvious standpoint, but from the standpoint of subliminal hate, for that is, hey, don't hang around so-and-so. I heard, he'll be a bad look around you. Yeah. You hear your parents may say this, okay, all right, mom, dad, don't hold your pocketbook tight because, or if subliminal hate is you always being told about how a certain person is. You're always being told this and that. That's subliminal hate. Then you grow up and think that. I can honestly, I wasn't taught subliminal hate. I was just taught truth about how people are. You know, I'm taught that you have good people and you have bad people. So like new information for me, let's say for example, I do have new information. Let's say gays, right? Or the LGBT community. New information is being able to say, hey, yo, these are people, they're just like us, right? Not to say I didn't think they were aliens before, but I was homophobic growing up, and I can admit that because that's not how I am now. I can admit and say, yo, I would say like things like faggot and things like that. Now that's not a cool thing now to say because they obviously don't like that, and I'm using that now to like explain an example, but I'm saying like we would joke like, boy, that's gay, you know what I'm saying? Or things like that. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I ain't gonna tell, hey, Rome, I love you. I wouldn't say that, things like that, because what you mean? Like, what you mean, bro? Don't be saying that. I'm a man. So new information to me is like, you can still hold your masculinity and show emotion for another, someone like another man.
Right, yeah.
You don't have to be like, that's not gay.
Right.
Oh, really? It's not? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's new information. It took me a while to get to that because that's a question I hadn't been brought before. So I'm thinking like, what is new information to me? Gay, yeah, like LGBT community, that whole transgenders. Yeah, that's new information to me because in my mind it's like, yo, I can't. Somebody asked me one time, could I be best friends with a transgender? And in my mind, I'm like, nah, not really, because spiritually, I feel like spiritually they changing who they are. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a deeper thing. Like, I feel like that's not who they really are and things like that. But honestly, now it's like I'm at the point of, if somebody has my best interest in sight, and they want to see me be great mentally, physically, and spiritually, and I want the same for them, I can't knock you, yo. Yeah. Like, that's all we ask for, right? Yeah. It sounds simple, but
I'm starting to realize, man, like when you really love somebody, you get through all of everything. Like you get through, because that light gonna shine, and like when you love somebody, whatever the issue is, whatever people are dealing with, whatever's separating or making people feel like this or that. When you love somebody, you're gonna dig whatever. You're gonna find out who they are. It's all gonna happen naturally, and like you can, like, people flourish. Like when light hits the seed and it starts growing, it flourishes and it grows, right? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people got seeds planted and they're sitting in darkness. I'm getting real deep with it, but I just feel
I forget deep.
You know what I'm saying? You love, and love is love is like light, and light like nourishes the plant, and the plant grows and blossoms, and we're all just trying to blossom, bro. So people need more love, they need more light. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's so simple though, Ron.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when I
just go back to what you were saying. Let me go back to what you're saying, because like when you talk about the girls and stuff like that, and women, I feel like that's why as men we should, you know what I'm saying? We should encourage. We should shine whatever light we have on that too, and we should be like, like we should celebrate that as men. We should celebrate women doing amazing things more so than anybody else, because women, like, just go deep again. Like if you even look at like history, like in like especially like Native American cultures and even African cultures in other places of the world, a lot of these places are matrilineal societies, you know, and they didn't become patrilineal until colonialism. Like I was reading about how like some of the Native American tribes, once they wanted to assimilate into white culture, they switched their society to be like more patrilineal, so that the men could like go out and function and be successful in white society and stuff like that. But before that, it would be like, the women, you trace your ancestry through the women, and the women have the titles and stuff like that. Men can still do stuff, of course, but like, and they would do that, and it would be cool because they were saying like a lot of impetus for patrilineal societies is like war and fighting. So these places where they have these war cultures and stuff like that, it might be more male driven, but there were Native American tribes over here where they didn't really have like fighting or rivalry or wars and stuff like that. So there was no reason to see the men as above the women, because typically you think about us, we're more protectors and physically strong, but women are typically more in tune with each other, with people and stuff like that.
With nature, period.
So I just been thinking about that lately. It's like, bro, we should really just celebrate women. Like, life is created in them.
Why they call it Mother Nature?
Yeah.
Why they call it the mothership?
You're right, bro.
Think about it. They'll never say fathership. They'll say They say father time.
Mother Earth.
Yeah.
And think about this, bro. Because listen, like, you plant a seed in the ground, right? But you don't know the actual process of that seed becoming what it's becoming. Like it's crazy to think about. It's like I know I saw myself plant seed in the ground, but at what point did it start blossoming? And you think about planting a seed, even in a woman, like getting somebody pregnant. You get them pregnant. At what point does the sperm and egg start to become a human? At what point does it get a personality and a soul and life? All that happens inside the woman. So we should celebrate. They're way more amazing than we are. Like when you think about it.
You know, that's funny. So you talk about like the life and what time when they get the soul. So I was writing the other day and I was like, you know, it's said that you're born twice. You know, once when you come into existence of life, and the other time when you find out your purpose of what's right.
Oh wow!
You know, like
that's dope.
Yeah, like when you come into existence, that's when you're born, obviously. Yeah. But then you're born again once you realize, okay, why I'm here, but more importantly, what I need to do while I'm here. That shit,
I fuck with that.
That's when to me, I feel like that's when the clock starts going.
Yeah,
that's when time is like, okay, all right, you're on the scoreboard now. Now it's on to you to put the work in. I feel like so this is kind of crazy. I was thinking about this too, because we always think of, oh, they died young, they died this, at a young age, but I feel like we create the sense of young. I feel like people bring a certain presence to the world. I may see a story where someone died at the age of 6, but I don't know what they brought to the world. They could have brought something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, I don't know what they brought to their family. Yeah. I don't know that person. I don't know what they brought to the people around them. What they brought to it could have just been one person. Yeah. They brought a whole new message to. And once that message was done,
their purpose was done.
It's crazy. Yeah. Think about it like that. Or it could be somebody that lived to be 100 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, did they not get the message? Or it took a while. Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe for some people, they're meant to be here longer to spread a deeper message. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at somebody like Dick Gregory. Wow. 84 years old, I think. Yeah. He been doing it for years. Yep. Like my dad talked about him. My granddad was talking about him. That's for years, and then I guess it got to a certain point where boom, he's done enough. I feel like that's the universe we have an internal clock. Yeah. And I feel like once our spirit and soul, if you're living healthy, if you out here wilding, but even people wilding, they have a message to give. Yeah. Because that message is passed on to somebody else that sees either you learn how that person was living, or
that's so real, man. Because I've been thinking about lately, like if death was such a bad thing, would it be the one thing that's inevitable for everybody? Like, it can't be such a bad thing if it happens to everybody, whether you're a little baby or an old man or whatever like that. Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not as bad as we make it out to be.
Okay, so death is made bad because we're lost spiritually. You know what I'm saying? We really are lost spiritually. Because if we really were in tune and knew who we were in the soul wise, then we would know that if you weren't here right now. Like, I know my granddaddy's still here with me. Yeah. I feel him. You know what I'm saying? He's in my soul. You know what I'm saying? But we so in tune physical. That's why sex is so heavy. Because physical, touch. We got to feel. So once that feel is gone, then dang, we mourn. Yeah. It's sad, right? Yeah. But if we really were in tune spiritually and really in tune to soul and what doesn't exist physically to the eye, then we'd be like, oh, they on another plane. Right. I vibe with them. You know, I meditate. Like you told me meditate. I meditate and I feel them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You may meditate and you may hear them. Yo, come on now.
Absolutely,
that's
bro.
On a deeper.
Hell yeah.
That's on a better level. Yeah. Because physically, you may get on my nerve, and I want you to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like Star Wars, bro. And like the stuff that. Even stuff that's real popular, that gets popular like that, I started to wonder why people gravitate towards it. And I think it's because there's truth there that people, you know what I mean? Think about Star Wars. I don't know how familiar with it, but like,
what you talking to?
Okay. What? You know, people die and they become part of the Force, right? Exactly. And then you got to be sensitive to the Force. And once you have the knowledge of the Force, you have to decide if you're going to use it for good or for evil. You know what I mean?
That's so real.
But everybody dies and becomes a part of the Force. I feel like that's real.
That's life, though. Yeah. I feel like for promise, man, I love where you're going with that because I feel like. Knowledge, I feel like when we talk about as far as finding your purpose here, I feel like once you find out the goal that you possess, you now have a decision. Can I use this for good or use this for bad? And we are now in a time in my head where I feel like a lot of people have a lot of gold in their hand and they're using it just to make more quotations gold, which is not gold, it's fake money into their own hands. I mean, think about music, for example. People have a power to change. I gotta use his name again, but his last album, like Jay-Z, look at his last album. He made a conscious decision to switch the vibe up.
Yeah.
He realized the power that he has. Now, granted, he's been talking about things, you know, back in 96, 97, bro said, you take that, you know, jury money and take it for lawyer fees. You know what I'm saying? Like, little gems like that is real. You know what I'm saying? If you look at other people, Talib Kweli, all these other people, they know that the position they're in to most deaf, they know that it can change a positive message. Common. Now, if you in a position and you still talking about things that are just, you know, irrelevant to pushing us in a positive way, you taking that because you know. I don't know, maybe I'm being naive and thinking that you know. But I feel like we're in a time now where that's being willfully ignorant. Yeah. There's a dissonance in your cognitive thinking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a disconnection for where your cognitive whereabout now, your reality to real reality. And that's dangerous. Yeah. I don't want to be in that world.
Not at all, bro. Not at all. Like you said, people, they call it the age of information for a reason. Like, those resources are out there if you want to. Information. Yeah, it's a lot of misinformation, too.
Yeah, but you're right.
If you want to research and if you want to start to go on that journey, like, the tools are more available now than they've ever been. It's just weeding through the lies. And I feel like a lot of those lies. How do you do
that? Because that is
You got to be in tune, bro.
Okay.
You got to be in tune, and it'll just flow.
Yeah.
It'll just flow.
So what you feel like your heart connects to, that's what you pick up on.
Yeah. Stuff jump out to me, and then when it jump out to me, the next day I'll talk to somebody and I'll say something without me even bringing something up, and it'll be a confirmation. So you got to be paying attention to what's actually happening. Yeah. It's hard to do that if you caught up in your own issues and stuff like that. So you got to really get free from whatever bags is like dragging you down, and then you can start to feel free and pay attention to what's going on. Like, you know what I mean?
How do you write about that without sounding preachy? Do you think about that?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, I have.
You've done it. No. Yeah. Because lynch mob, you talking about it. You done it. You just, I guess you're not thinking about it. You think about it. You think about, I guess the way I said it is, as far as like putting knowledge in it. Yeah. And not sound, but you've done it. That's gems. Yeah.
It's just got to be well done. Kind of go back to what you were saying earlier. It's just got to be creative and well done. And if you're passionate about what you're doing, you'll do that anyway. You know what I mean? Most people don't just like.
I mean,
what you think?
Passion. I think there is a science to it because, as far as on the writing sense now, people are passionate all day about their message. Yeah. But if you could be telling somebody, if you could be going down a list of facts all day, but if it's not really relating to how that person lives, then they're gonna be like, okay. So it has to be relatable in the sense of, okay, wow, that connects home. Then boom, it has to be. I think to me, in a good sense of content, there has to be wit. Okay. You know, a little bit of wittiness that'll really catch, because it throws the person off. Okay, you're being sarcastic, but damn, that's real. Yeah. Chris Rock, what makes him so great is the shit he says is like, that's funny, but that shit's true. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But because I break things down scientifically, how it's created in the formula, and I think because that's just how we operate brains. Yeah, we're not all just plain white walls. We take different information, and it hits us different ways. Yeah, and we store things different. Like, we can't just take a plate of beans and be good. Like, we need different things, portions of different things on the plate. True. So when I write and when I look at writing now, you gotta hit with different things of information. You gotta hit it different ways, otherwise it's gonna become you just. Okay, we appreciate that.
Yeah. But what else? No, that makes a lot. I never thought about the person. Yeah, it's exactly like a plate of food, or even like a sandwich, or like a salad. Think about all the different things that go into it, bro. Yeah. If it was just a lettuce salad, that would be so whack, right? That would be so whack.
No, that's true. Because it's healthy. Yeah. But I kind of want some dressing on it, give it a little bit more taste.
Yeah, or all the different tastes and textures, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the the spinach, the arugula, like you know what I'm saying.
That's real.
Give me all the mix
some
it
avocados
up and have it. You know, hit all the different types of palates. You know what I'm saying. It's like go back to Cardi B songs, switching up every so often.
Yeah.
So you can't just to not be preachy. I feel like you just gotta give people all of you with it. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different aspects. Because you might be
your
naturally,
personality.
Yeah, you might have some truth that you want to share, but you also got some wit.
Yeah.
And you don't like to just hear preachy stuff, so you dodge that bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the preachy person might be trying to hide something that he's dealing with that he don't want to put out.
That's real right there. Because they're trying to actually. It's almost like the preachy person is using that message to talk to themselves.
I can feel that. I can see that.
Really, they're trying to hide something.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that they're talking to themselves, but they're really trying to hide something within another layer.
Yeah.
That's why they can't really put their personality behind it because they don't want to face that.
Wow.
Because if they start really putting their personality in, damn, they gotta start seeing some demons in there. But yo, that makes content dope. Like,
yeah.
The other day, like, dang, I'm always trying to face myself because we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like how we talk about new information. Yeah. I can admittedly say, yeah, growing up homophobic, growing up with misogynist thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew something clicked to me in high school when I said, yo, calling a woman a bitch is not, it just don't even sound, like, it just don't even, I guess the appealing part, the non-appealing part was when I saw how it was used. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up and seeing how bitch was always used in a negative way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming, you know, it was always some violent, it wasn't with love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell what's meant with love.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I get certain words, I hear people say, well, we're going to own this word. I feel you. But is it really love in that word? Did that word derive from love? And I guess I'll throw this at you. Can you take something that was derived from hate and turn it into love? And should everything that was created off hate be turned into love?
Wow, that's deep, bro. Let me think on that.
Yeah, you could think on that. I mean, it's just, I'm talking, but I'm thinking when I'm talking, like, I guess it's something like we take racism that was created off. One could say so that theories. One could say it was created off envy. You know, but we take that enviness and we throw it to love because we're taking it out and saying, I understand all of us can have this same power. Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like that's the fear that's keeping us stuck in this country because I feel like the oppression of black people and things of that nature is almost like they don't realize whoever's in position of the oppression and stuff like that, they don't realize that if they let everybody just flourish and be who they're made to be, everything will be awesome. Like, everything would be love. I don't know if people think the world would just, like, fall apart if, like, you treated your brother like a brother or something like that. But for some reason, you know, I don't know if it's specific people want to have power. You know what I mean?
No, it is.
It's got to go back to power, I guess.
It is power. Everything runs off power.
Yeah.
It don't even, to be honest with you, there is a deeper spiritual, I feel like, undertaking with it. But it comes from power. Because it's race, honestly, racism is for the ignorant.
Yeah, right.
Right now.
Right.
It's about classism and economics.
Yeah, it
is. That's where the next level of segregation is.
Yeah.
After a while, it's gonna be a point of where everybody, black, white, yellow, purple, whatever you are, if you had a certain salary cap, you're over here, and you got a certain, you're over here. So all y'all gonna have to end up getting together. The ignorant, y'all gonna end up killing yourselves. The other people, y'all gonna end up trying to figure out a way to work together. And come on, think about Hunger Games.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. So, I mean, if you think about on the economic level, racism is just being pimped right now. Yeah. It's pimping. Racism is a hoe. Yeah. I mean, think about, like, even if you look at the president using that. Come on. Some of these people I don't even think I think they have racist tendencies, but I think they understand the push behind it gets to them, the push it gives for them, and how they can push a message and how they can get leverage on certain things that they can just stir up and cause distraction using racism. It's a pimp. Like, it's a hoe. Racism is a hoe. Everybody can say, like, the whole kneeling thing in the NFL. Yeah. It turned into, once again, something dealing with race. Yeah. I mean, all it started off was to talk about the police brutality and how, particularly that song, which if you listen to it, is on the second verse, has some underlining tone of racism
Absolutely.
in it. Okay,
Yeah.
so you know about that. You're aware of that.
Yeah.
But if it was particularly on how that song, but what's reflecting of this country?
Mm-hmm.
This country isn't reflecting unity.
No.
So I can't stand for unity. I have to make a silent protest.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? And the crazy part people don't talk about with Kaepernick and how that whole thing started, and I have to say this is because he actually asked somebody of the military, army, someone of service, what's the most respectable way? And they told him that was the most respectable way.
And then people are still like, yeah.
But nobody talks about that, right?
No, nobody talks about it.
You know what I'm saying? So, so that whole what that right there started as is now turned into you have these NFL players, black players, really everybody. You had white people, all types of people kneeling, but it was disrespect to our flag. What's it look like more? You have these NFL players which are already given the tone of "you work for me, boy."
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, like it's once again it's just racism being pimped out.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel like racism is something that they kind of. It's almost like a distraction, bro. For what's really going on.
Distraction.
Yeah, it's tough.
So with it being a distraction, should we keep talking about it? Should we just drop the mic and never talk about it right there?
You
right
should always call a thing what it is.
Okay.
So if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But the focus is still like it's still us. Like I've been like thinking about how Malcolm X was saying, like talking about, everybody has to look out for their own kind of thing. And that mentality makes a lot of sense. And I feel like in a lot of ways integration kind of robbed us of that as black people. Because when black people got successful, they felt like that meant living in white neighborhoods and going to white schools. Mm-hmm. What it would really be better is if we were really looking out for our own communities and looking out for ourselves and healing ourselves first and doing those things and owning what's ours. Because the problem is black people, we don't just own nothing. We're just always on rented land or public housing or trying to get into the white corporation with the benefits, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because we like to be bought out.
Yeah. Even with hip hop, we sold out hip hop.
So yeah, let me rephrase that. I don't think we like to be bought out. Some people do, but I think we understand the means that come behind it.
Yeah.
If you work, let me tell you, if your worth is $10 million,
mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because I like looking at these numbers online what artists make, and what artists like. We'll label and say, okay, we'll pay you $2 million.
Yeah.
We'll give you your $2 million, but you may make them $20 million.
Yeah.
But you got $2 million, wrong? You gonna sign that deal, yo? You got $2 million coming from something you never had before.
Yeah.
And now you feel like you can change it. But I feel like with that, you gotta know. I feel like sometimes you have to be a Trojan horse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to get into a system and then flip the message. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I do take that $2 million, I know my worth is 20. But you know what? I'm gonna let you get that 20. Because what I'm about to do now is I'm about to get into your system where I'm locked under a contract and I'm about to flip the what you thought I was coming in at. If you thought I was coming in as a mumble rapper, I'm about to start speaking so intelligent, articulate my words, pronounce everything, and I'm about to flip the whole system to now. I'm changing the game. Yeah, I still may be still making you money, but now I'm educating my people, and that wealth is priceless.
Right. And what you're talking about is being aware, though. That's a self-aware.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can do that if you're self-aware, but people got to start by being aware, self-aware.
Yeah.
Awareness isn't just like, oh, I know all this deep stuff. It's like you got to be aware of yourself and know where you at. And okay, I can make this move like this. I'm gonna do this like this. That's what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So that's powerful.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. Like we talk about police brutality. I think we got to start telling people, join the police. You know, like become a policeman.
Yeah.
You know, join that force because we keep wanting to talk about the police treat us like this. They always profiling us like this. Well, if your homeboy down the street go join, now he's part of that system. Now he could say, okay, these are my people's right. He can go up and tell you, hey man, can you not do this? Because you see, I'm watching the block now. I can start to tell because my whole job in mantra is to protect and serve. So let me come here and tell you not to do this one time. I'm gonna give you a few warnings after that. If you don't get it, I got it. You know what I gotta do. I'm looking out for you now. I'm protecting and serving you. I'm serving you with, with a lesson, and I'm protecting you from these other people. I see they watching you over here, so you need to not move like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just out here trying to just fire off, or I'm not trying to out here just see, oh, you look like a criminal. I'm just gonna. I'm not even from. I have a disconnect to this area.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm sure this conversation's already been had multiple times in the past. But even if, like, imagine if gangs were repurposed for that. You know what I mean? Because you talk about how originally the Black Panthers were talking about protecting the neighborhoods, that kind of thing. And at some point, it kind of turned into this weird thing where it became about money and drugs. They started selling drugs, making money, getting more violent, territory, drug trafficking, all that type of stuff. But if those, you know what I'm saying, you get a group of black men, all the young black men, same age, you know, who are all about protecting their neighborhood and blah, blah, blah.
Women too, excuse me. Why not protect it in the sense of helping it flourish and be great instead of just protecting it in terms of, you on my block, you got a different color shirt on, like, I got problems with you. Imagine if it was like, how can we make this neighborhood better? Imagine if gangs started thinking like, I've never been in a gang, so maybe I don't know how the conversations go, but what if it was like, how can we make this neighborhood better? But you know the crazy part? You have more in-gang violence now.
Really?
Than you do across colors.
Really?
Yeah. Talk to somebody, and these are conversations that I've had with people that are actually involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like long distance conversations. Not people that are actually hearing like where we live, but just long distance and just listening to, because I want to know about everything that's going on. So I'm listening. Okay, let me look this up too. You got more in territorial stuff going on, beefing than you do cross colors.
Yeah.
Because cross colors now are coming together like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even about that. More people are inside because you know what? It's a power structure. F you, I want to be the man now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're
this
saying.
is my block.
Yeah.
Yo, youngin', I ain't gone nowhere yet. Yeah. Nah, this is what I was raised to be.
But that's what they're saying. The guy who was in Chicago, one of them rappers, G something.
Herbo?
Herbo G.
Yeah,
G Herbo. He was talking about the gang culture up there. He's like, gangs, they don't really have like leadership structures anymore because everybody's just like, you about to talk to me like that. So
man,
like,
that's wild.
Yeah.
I can't believe. That's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild to think that we've come up in an age now because we do have a self-entitled. I think we do. Our generation does have an entitlement issue.
Yeah. Because
we do feel like we're entitled because we come up in this stage where we have certain things at our fingertips. We're more. I guess we think we're more swifter and quicker with things. So like, who are you to tell me? Plus, it's just being young. I think every generation goes through that phase of young whippersnapper. Yeah. Where we feel like, okay, we can up the master. But what happens when we do up the master? And then we get that taste of blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just did that. So then that's what happens too. It's kind of like you have the young cub take out the king of the jungle. Yeah. And when you have that, then everybody's loose. So
that's real. Or even in those cases, maybe the king of the jungle didn't get took out by the young cub. Maybe the system got him in some jail now.
Well, there you go.
So now the youngest is just running around looking like...
Youngest just wilding. Yeah. Because nobody check him. It's nobody. Who's checking who these days?
Nobody. Or, I mean, if they check you, they... Yeah.
I mean, that's because I try to say, yo, we all need somebody around us to check us.
But, you know, you need somebody who can check you, who you know loves you. Going back to what you said before, it got to come from a place of love, or else it's going to be a problem, right? Yeah. So a lot of people probably don't feel like they have those relationships. You know, they probably out here wilding because they don't feel like they got somebody who really cares about their best interests, giving them advice.
That's true.
Because it's different when somebody trying to son you, or when somebody like, bruh, like, come on, man, I know your mama, like, I know she wouldn't want you, you know, blah blah blah. Yeah. So it's like, it goes back to love. It's all about love, man.
You got somebody check you?
I got the hat, Love on Purpose.
Oh, is that what it means?
It was a dope poet. Shout out to Sir Abstract.
That's dope right there.
Yeah, Sir Abstract had a word of mouth joint on Friday, and the feature, her name was Tamika Staley, and she had her whole brand was Love on Purpose. She out of Columbia, and she was dope. Like, she was real dope. Yeah. She was everything we talking about, bro. Word. Self-love, empowerment, being yourself with no
back.
Yeah, no holding back. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. Because I've been thinking about this lately, man. Like, I remember when I was in college, we were in this class and we were talking about the job market, and the teacher was talking about how people who look different or come from different backgrounds have to assimilate certain ways to get into corporate America. And they were talking about how one of the kids in class, he had like dreadlocks or whatever. And she was like, you know, sadly, like a lot of companies would be like, you know, because you got dreadlocks, you know, they would want you to cut those before you go into the professional world. And he was like, yeah, my mom used to tell me stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. And this white girl in class, she started busting out crying. And she was crying. She was like, I don't think it's fair. It's not right.
Yeah.
But, you know, those real moments got to happen because that's why you have these conversations because, like, this, it's like people out there on the other side of the fence talking about white people and stuff like that. They don't realize what people got to sacrifice to try to fit into these systems that they don't have to sacrifice anything to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So her busting out crying, that showed me something. It's like, wow, she really cares. She just never thought about it. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't agree with it either. She just never even thought about it.
It never had a touch her like that.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Sheesh, man. Yeah, you got to kind of, I think, you know what? Yo, humanity is when you finally, like, realize, is when you want to put yourself in someone else's footsteps. When you're good, but you want to put yourself in someone else's footsteps because you feel that pain for them.
Wow. Yeah.
I feel like that's the true point of like humanity. When I see you struggling, and even though I'm good over here, and I see you going through just different things like putting you down, but I want to like look out for you. Yo, that's humanity. Like, when it comes to these different, like anything going on like that, we got some terrible storms destroying all types of areas of the world right now. And when you like, ooh, I'm glad it didn't touch me, and you just sit there and you live your life on, but you don't look out for them. I say, shoot, because if it happens to wherever you are, you know, and you never know what can happen to you, then you like, dang, I need some help. Shoot.
But you ain't put no help out.
You ain't put no help out to nobody else.
Yeah.
Shoot, what comes around goes around.
True.
That's legendary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shoot, man. I feel like we got to do a call of action though.
Okay.
I don't know.
What that look like?
I don't know. We got to create some kind of call of action to the people. Because we know we talking about all this stuff, but we should got to call of action for ourselves and for like people that listen to the show, watch the show, some kind of call to action for them to like each week we can build upon something. Yeah. You know, so we'll think about something.
Yeah, it's going all flow.
Come up with something where we can you know what my first call to action would be let's end the show, so like start to end the shows and begin the shows with some kind of affirmation that we want to build upon. So we ain't gotta do we can start the day like just, you know, something simple. Yeah. But like each show we're gonna end up like with a kind of affirmational poem or something. So I guess next time we can flip it. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. We're gonna that's gonna be dope. All right, on the side, we need to do shows like that. We need to end everything like that. Yeah, like I feel like after a while, it's just you gotta have some kind of call to action to get people riled up. Otherwise, you're just sitting there like that was good. That was good. It's like you eating healthy, but you're not working out. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like, okay, that's good that you eat healthy. Yeah. But what about actually working the body out, keeping being active? So let's be active. Okay, I dig it. I'm with it. All right, let's get it. So, anything else you want to leave to the people? November 9th, the Forum. Fuck with it. It's gonna be fire. Yeah. Poetically, he's the brainchild behind this whole podcast. Stay tuned for what he's doing. Follow him on YouTube. Poetic Sessions. Big things coming, and we out. I'm out. I'm out. You out? I'm out. Wrap it up then. Wrap it up then.